Hello folks, Major Gosnell here, and it's going to be episode 11 of my Stationeers playthrough. Now, the last time that you left, we had sort of given you an indication of what I'd planned for the base, and I spent most of yesterday evening building it. This is the result. It's still not fully set up, I just wanted to go through some of the last touches on video. So, basically what I've done is I've connected my gas storage system over here, and gas filtration system, to the back of the module here. And this module is going to be sort of like the entrance hall to my base, my pressurized base. So we have our oxygen filter tank, which is in here. And let me just go around actually and show you how it's all going to come together. So what I've done is I have put an extra valve on my oxygen tank here. So anything that comes from the filter, the oxygen filter up here, will come down and it will have two choices. It can either go into the pressurized base at the back or into the canister here, using these on-off valves, like so. Then it will all go through the piping system around the back. Sorry, it's a little convoluted, but fuck it. Whoop, stuck on the door. So it's going to come all the way through the back there, as you can see, hooking all the way around and back in here. Now, if we go inside the base, so clearly there was something already in the furnace that's being pumped in. I hope it's not too volatile. And this room isn't pressurized yet, so ignore all of that. Now, this vent here, if you can switch it on and off. Sorry, I'm having difficulty with my... Ah, there we go. I couldn't see it because it was so bright, the crosshair there. So, 1 second, we're going to switch off that light. There we go. So, this vent here is basically going to feed the air from whatever we make in the furnace, and it's filtered into oxygen. It'll be released through this vent, as you just saw, and pumped out into this room. The vent over here is the CO2 dumping filter. So, basically, once I start breathing the air with my helmet off, I'm going to be producing CO2, carbon dioxide. So what you're going to want to do there is this will filter all that shit out and dump it out. And that will work when you switch it on here. It'll suck all the air out of the room, but what will happen is the air will actually cycle back into this vent here. So if we come around again, and if you take a look here, I put in a small filtration unit with a filter for CO2, which should be in here. There we go. Filter oxygen, sorry. So basically it's going to filter the oxygen through here, and everything else is waste, and the waste is going to be emptied out through a passive vent on the side over here. So that way we have a steady flow of oxygen going in, and the pollutants being sucked out. Of course, that means that you're going to have to maintain the pressure by continuously topping up the pressure, but at some point I will probably be automating that. Now, for electrics, what I've done is, in the previous video I showed you the battery system I'd installed on the roof up here. Actually, let's just jet back up there. So these batteries and the solar grid on the roof of the gas chamber are going to be powering this room. 2 full batteries, transformer here, and feeding down into... that's funny. Wire layout. It's a bit of a bad art design there. So the wires are going to feed down there into the filtration unit down here and into the base itself. So that's the power and the gas supply all set up. Now we're just going to go all the way back down again. Good God, that's actually still venting quite a lot. I wonder what the hell it was venting out. Anywho, a few other things I've added to the room. We have the airlock here, and we have the lighting system up here. Now, the issue that I had was you can't place vents and panels directly onto composite walls. They just won't go. So I had to do a bit of a workaround, which was a little time consuming, and I'm going to show you how up here. Actually, we're just going to drop the mining bolt there 1 second, and actually the tool belt as well. So we're just going to come out here again, jet back on, up onto the roof. So, up here, and we're going to need our light for this actually. There we go. In order to be able to place items on the construction kit walls, you need to build an iron frame, either behind, goddamn jetpacks, either behind or on top of wherever you're placing the item, so it'll actually lock onto it. So I'm going to show you here how I do it with this little panel here. Now I want to put a light in here, similar to this. However, I can't attach it directly to the ceiling inside the room. It won't go. But if I build an iron frame over where I want it and have the wire connected, drop down through the panel here, and you're going to need a crowbar, or assuming you've already built the composite wall, that is. Walk up to the part of the wall that you don't need, deconstruct it, and as you can see there, the wire is already set up. Now, just before we do that, we're going to reattach this and pick up the light. Now, see, the light's not snapping onto anything here. It won't go on. So we're going to drop that, crowbar off the wall again. We're going to drop that, pick up the lights, and now it will lock onto the iron frame that's up above. So, we're going to connect that up. Light is on. But the thing is, you can now reattach the steel sheet and the light is still visible. So it's kind of a workaround for that particular issue. Now if you come in here, jet back up again, need to seal up that panel actually, and now we can actually deconstruct the frame and the light should still be hanging there. Okay, and angle around there we go. As you can see, the light stays in place. Very easy. So that's how you do a workaround on not being able to place items on iron walls, so you don't need to have big blocky iron frames around the perimeters of your building. I don't believe there's any penalty for doing it this way either. I think it can still hold the same amount of pressure as steel frames if you're using steel walls, so just bear that in mind. Now, one thing I want to try actually here is we're just going to drop down here again. Drop that, take this, and J up. I want to see if we can place another sheet up here just to make it look prettier. Unfortunately, it would appear that we cannot. So the roof is going to require some other work, though I have an idea on how to actually achieve that, which I might do in another video. So we're going to drop these back down there. So everything I need on the roof is pretty much completed at this point. Just going to make sure I haven't left any tools up here. Excellent. So we're going to drop back down. Yep. Jet back off. Actually, how much fuel do I have left? Not a little bit. It'll last for now. So we're just going to seal up the rest of this room in here. So we're going to drop that panel in there. So that's sealed. I believe there's glass in there. There is. Now we're going to set up the airlock itself. So what you want to do with the airlock, in one of my previous videos, I believe it was episode 3 or 4, I showed you how to set up an airlock. So it's all rigged up again. You have a passive vent here, which will suck the air from this room to pressurize the airlock when it's pressurizing. It'll come out through the active vent here. But first you need to set it up on the control panel. You need to have a data disk, which you put in like so. And then you need to make a few selections. So what you can do is you need to find the active vent that's here. Now, when you select one of the vents here, I have a number of vents connected to the system, so you want to make sure it's the right one. And an easy trick to discover that is click on one and see if it says locked. It doesn't, so that's not the right one. Now click on this one, switch off that one. Still not saying locked. So now you're going to go down to the last one, and it should say locked. So that is your active vent that's here. So that's the easy way of seeing which active vent you're actually selecting. Now, the next one you're going to want to do is your airlock exterior, which is that door there. And airlock interior, which is this door here. And then you're going to want your gas sensor, which is this little one down here. So this airlock should be fully functioning now. So we're going to pop outside here. Ooh, actually, I'll take the data disk first. I've actually left the belt that I need inside there. Excuse me, still got a touch of flu about me. So it's not going to pressurize now, so we're just going to go to cancel pressurization. Door should open. Yeah, we can throw down the data disk here. Take the mining belt. I've got some volatiles in there. Or sorry, some ice oxides that we can use. We're going to come out here. And through here. Now, if everything has been set up correctly, this should work. So we're just going to run along into the room here. Sorry about the mess. I really do need to do a tidy up, but it's quite time-consuming wiring all your piping true blocks, I can tell you. So I just want to make sure that all the other valves are off before I do this. Don't really need to do these ones, but just so it's all set up nicely. And you're going to want to make sure the valve connecting to your base is on, like so. And then you're going to want to make sure that the pump is on, set to outward, vent is on here. So that's all set up. And then you're going to want to go to your furnace. Now I'm going to move my mining belt into my hand there. So mining belt's there, and as you can see I've got some oxides put away. Put that in here. Going to insert it into... actually, let's make sure there's nothing in the furnace first. There isn't. Capital. So we're going to drop the oxide in here. See, the pressure is going up. Ah, but I forgot to do the release valve here. So we're going to release that valve. And pressure should drop again. So that should all be pumping in now into my base. So we're going to go run all the way around again. Not the most ergonomic of bases, but I'm sure you can forgive me for that. I'm going to run in here, come up here, and cycle to interior. Now for some reason, it's not cycling. So we're going to cancel the pressurization, and I think I know why it's not. I forgot to switch this on. So, and now, hopefully, it should start pressurizing if I've done everything correctly. Ah, there we go. It worked. So now, all of the gas that I just released in the system should be pumping into this room. And as you can see, the kPa level is rising. Now, I don't believe I have enough oxide to actually fully pressurize this room at 100 kPa. Just want to make sure we're not losing any here. I don't think we are. This should be going up. Yeah, we're not losing any pressure at all. However, I don't think we have enough kPa to actually fully pressurize this room. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab our portable air scrubber. So we're going to go to cycle to exterior. As you can see, the pressurization bar is going up slightly. And what we're going to do now, we're just going to run and grab my portable air scrubber, which I believe is over here somewhere. Or not air scrubber, the portable air canister. I'm going to want to select that, bring it back over here. And chuck it in here. Now, gotta be careful here, there's quite a lot of potholes around my base from mining. Okay, drop that there, cycle to interior. Now I don't think it will actually fully cycle here, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, we're just going to cancel the pressurized there. Take this. Now we're going to release this one into the room. So this is just a temporary measure till I get more oxide to pump into the system. As you can see, we're currently at 22 kPa. It should be steady. And oxygen increase. There we go. That should release all the oxygen in this out. Valve is going down. So the air is flooding towards that door here, and I'm wondering if that's... that's letting out the oxygen. I have a very funny feeling it might just be. Now, we may have lost a little bit there, actually. Very curious now if we're actually losing oxygen through here. Let's see if it maintains a steady KPA. Let's switch off the vent here. Okay, so we're at 39 kPa. It seems to be holding steady, however the temperature is remarkably low. Okay, so we're going to pop outside again. Ah, I may have made a very bad mistake here. I may not be able to actually exit this room, because I can't cancel the pressurization. See if it's pressurizing. Oh, the bar seems to be going up nicely. Ah, there we go. So it does take a few seconds to pressurize fully there. So what we're going to do, we are going to cycle to exterior. Hopefully that'll all pump back in there. Now, we are just going to take a look over here for my tool belt, actually. And we're going to get our data reader. Actually, do we have a data reader on it? We do have a data reader. So we're going to drop that one down there. And what we're going to want to do here, we may have another canister actually. It's just the fact that I don't have enough oxide is the issue right now. Eva suit, or we do. So we are going to take out the canister of this one. There we go. E and Q. So we're going to take the handheld and we're going to take that canister with us. And run all the way back over here and get back inside the space. Now hopefully, if I've set this up correctly, I should be able to take off my helmet and breathe the air as normal. So we're going to cycle to interior. That should close. This should go up to 100. Come on, you know you can do it. 100 kPa, come on. Green. Now I think there we go.
Low.
Okay, and we're still at 39 kPa, so it is fully. 37. Should go back up to 39, I think, once the airlock is all at 38. So we did lose 1 kPa there, which is a little alarming. Okay, anywho, we are going to drop you on the ground, and we're just going to release the oxygen just to see if this actually works. That's pretty cool. So, $39 kPa. That again, and there we go, 40 kPa. So we are having some pressurization issue here, but I think with enough oxide being released in, it should probably be fully pressurized. Now, next thing we're going to do is just make sure what we're breeding is safe before I take off my helmet. Let's press tree, and we're going to need our Atmos analyzer. Okay, thwarted by those controls again. E and F. E. So 100% oxygen. Now, it might be a little too cold to take off my helmet, but we're going to give it a shot. 1, and...
Temperature critical.
So it is a little cold, but it is breathable. So that's the most important thing. So in the next episode, I'm going to have to figure out a way of heating this entire room. And what I probably end up doing is having a couple of heaters here and here. Maybe run some electricity down here as well, to have 2 more up here. And that should bring the room into proper heating system for us. Now, bear in mind, guys, what I've built here is very basic layout of a room. There's much more complex ways you can achieve it, but for just an early starter base, this is a good, got stuck there, a good way to get started, and albeit a slightly messy one. So I hope you enjoyed anyway, guys. Check out the videos, check out the subscribe button, I meant to say, and the like button, and yeah, I hope to see you on the next episode.